All right, guys, we are back again with another Vardos stream. Let me go ahead and pull up the live chat. I'm still in here struggling, trying to get these wires together. Oh, God. All right, here we go. Here we go. What's up, guys? Got a lot of people piling in right now. So, yeah, when I have guests on the stream, this is a hangout stream. So if you guys want to come in and tell me why the prequels are good, you're more than welcome to post those emails. I'll be inviting people, and hopefully you can be more entertaining than me sitting here trying to wire this stuff together. Also, smash the like button, of course. Jeez. Jedi Bob, you're more than welcome to come on if you'd like to, man. What's up, B-Fab? What's the tool you're using? This is a soldering iron. Stormy, post that email, bro. I got you. Oh, no, we're not praising the prequels. I just said you can come on and try to convince me about why they're good. Maybe that's what the title of the stream will be. This will be the convince me that the prequels are good stream. I think Jedi Bob is the perfect candidate for that. All right. I'm bringing in Jedi Bob and Stormy Ricks. So invites are about to be sent right now. All right, Jedi Bob, your invite has been sent. Now, Stormy. I like DS. He says, prequels do a good job of making everything by comparison look so much greater. That might be true. It makes us appreciate the original trilogy that much more. BFAB says, what advice would you give to someone who wants to get a job at the Lego store? Well, as sad as it is to say it, being a big fan of Lego is not a huge selling point. It's far more important for you to give good customer service. So that's the type of person they're look for when they're doing that. Yeah, just show them that you're good with people. And that's really the biggest piece of leverage you can have against everyone else. All right, did you guys get your invites? Did you guys get your invites or nah? Or nah? Come on, guys. All right, resend it to Jedi Bob. Did you not get it? Or did something happen? All right, cool. Neither of you came prepared. This isn't good for your case of trying to prove to me why the prequels are good. I'll say that much. Holy crap, it's me, Minecraft and more. Where the heck have you been, dude?
Hello.
Mr. Bob, what's up, dude?
Do you recognize my voice or did you see me join?
I saw you join.
Oh. Hey.
Also, I can tell your voice apart from Stormy's.
Oh. Yeah. First of all, I'm excited for that mock. I'm like hyped.
I'm glad, man. I'm hyped too. I'm hoping the video does well. I've been working on it nonstop for this week, so I hope it lives up to the hype. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll disappoint. I mean, Crate was awesome and Scarif, so.
I'd like to think this one is a step above both Crate and Scarif. This one I put. I'd say I probably personally put more time into this mock. Like, definitely longer than Scarif. Scarif we didn't really work on that long. Crate I worked on probably as long as I did with this one, but this one I put in more personal time, right? Because it wasn't split between me and someone else. So I'm hoping it's good to go.
Are you guys just before we get into prequel stuff? Are you guys going to Brick Fiesta this year?
Garrett is not going to be there, but I will be there.
Oh, because my little cousin who lives in Texas was like, "Man, I'm getting into mock building," and I'm like, "Hey, check out this guy named Rich Boy J." So I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you a new fan."
Thanks for the plug, bro. Appreciate it.
I was like,
yeah, tell him to come through. It's a good time.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, and if you go to this place, there's cool mocks." Anyways,
it will be my next mock, which will be the best mock ever.
Better. Okay, personally, my personal favorite is Scarif because I think that Citadel is amazing. But
that's fair. I mean, Scarif was cool. I would say for me, Crate was better. I like Scarif more as a planet more than Crate, but I think just for the actual build, Crate was a little bit better. We think Crate was more polished.
Yeah, Crate.
Still built my ATM-6. That ATM, dude, this thing.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, man. Where's its head?
It's in my closet.
Oh, so never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but never mind. Yeah, so you know, when you said prequels, I was like, oh, I gotta hop in on that.
All right, cool. Yeah. Oh, this is it. Tell me why the prequels are good.
Simply put, Jar Jar Binks is in them.
Okay, tell me why the prequels are good in a serious take it seriously.
All right. Well, I can only say 2 of the prequels are good. I can't say all 3 of them are good.
Really? Okay.
I can say 1 is okay, 1 is good, the other sucks. I can say that. How about that?
Okay, cool. So let's talk about that. Which I'm gonna guess you think episode 3 is the good one.
Of course.
Episode 1 is probably the okay one.
Yep.
And episode 2 is the sucky one.
Yep.
All right, so we'll start off with episode 2 then. Tell me why episode 2 sucks.
Because I remember watching it as a kid, which, you know, the prequels are kind of meant for, and getting bored.
That is a fair point.
I remember being like weirded out. I'm like, why is Anakin falling in love? But I mean, I was a little kid, so that makes a little bit more sense. But I also remember Obi-Wan being weird. I remember the only thing I really liked.
You think girls were icky when you were watching that film?
Yeah. I was like, Anakin, you're gonna eat cooties.
Exactly, man. See, where were you to save Anakin for literally like his life going down the drain?
Yeah, but I remember the one thing I did think was cool. Was the clone shot of all the clones like being produced. I'm like, whoa, holy crap, that's a bunch of stormtroopers. I was a kid, I didn't understand, but
yeah,
I thought that was cool. But I just remember getting so bored, and even on Geonosis, I was just like, it's kind of cool, but not really.
Yeah. I mean, I like it, but this it's kind of a trend with all the battles in the prequels. The battles are so light, like they're not really highlighted, you know.
Yeah, well, especially you compare the Battle of Hoth, the Battle of the Death Star. They're so major, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's like people are like, the battle of Kashyyyk's amazing. There's no battle. Like the scene showcasing the battles like 45 seconds or something. I mean, I haven't watched Revenge of the Sith in a while, but like,
I like to put it this way: the prequel battles don't have a plot. Like Geonosis kind of has one, but not really. Like by what's happening, you can kind of get like, oh, they need to destroy the big like Trade Federation ships before they take off, but that's never made like an important thing. Like, oh, we need to do this. Like, there's no tension surrounding that. Whereas, like the Endor battle, it's like we need to destroy the Death Star before it before it gets around the Forest Move Endor, right? So like there's never a plot surrounding the battles in the prequels, which is really disappointing because the prequels have all the best setup for the battles, right? Like we have huge armies, we got clones on one side, droids on the other side, huge awesome ships. Like it's all there. Like just do it, just do something with those things. And I feel like George Lucas just falls short.
Also, Stormy, because I got the chat. Stormy says he would like another invite, please.
I'm sending it right now.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Although, I mean, it all changes with the Clone Wars, but yeah, it's like the battles were just battles.
Here's the one rule for the stream: we can't bring up the Clone Wars.
All right, I will set that rule.
Clone Wars doesn't even deserve to be like mentioned in the breadth of the prequels because Clone Wars gets so many things right that the prequels get wrong, in my opinion. But we're going to talk about the prequels in a vacuum because that's what they were intended to be.
Yeah, that's fair. That's most people who defend the prequels are put up Clone Wars, but yeah, but Attack of the Clones, the droid factory sequence, even though the Lego game, I thought, oh my god, what is that profile picture?
Bro, that's a sexy boy in that profile picture.
It's amazing.
The stream is getting too sexual.
Do we need to bring up the love has an age meme?
I'm talking about the picture. I'm talking about the Lego thing, man. I'm not talking about the boy behind it.
Is that that's Beach Trooper?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the correct shore trooper.
Yeah, the one that's not censored.
Exactly.
If Disney actually put that kind of stormtrooper on Scarif, I think Rogue One would be considered the best Star Wars movie of all time.
They would. Yeah, I felt that could go either way though. Like I feel like that could just as easily backfire. People would be like, "Oh, what is Disney doing? They ruined stormtroopers. Stormtroopers were so respected before this film. Now they look goofy." That's how people would react to it.
I mean, honestly.
But all right, so Stormy, here, I don't know if you were going to be the person to convince me why the prequels are good, but we were kind of talking about just like battles in general in the prequels. How do you feel about prequel battles, my guy?
Well, I don't really watch the prequels that much.
That's fair. I don't blame you.
You know, off the top of my head, I think the space station Naboo fight with Anakin was probably the best.
Okay, I can see that. There's like a goal. There's like a point to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's one of the better parts of all the prequels. It was just so well done, and it looks like it's from the original trilogy with some of the effects, I guess.
Yeah, Episode 1, I'd say, is the best looking prequel film. Like, it's very much more in line with the way the original trilogy is, and even just like the overall like style the movie is made. Like the original trilogy for me is like, you know, group of people in a ship on some sort of adventure. And I mean, that's basically what Episode 1 is. The 2 and 3 are definitely not like that. But
I think that's why actually a lot of people like the prequels, and it's very interesting. I think a lot of people like the prequels because it's a lot more, and I think you can agree with this. The prequels really world build. They show a lot more of Star Wars than the original trilogy did because the original trilogy had an actual story they were trying to follow.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? It's like pick your poison. It's like, you know, do you want a film that's like heavily character focused, where, you know, the shots are the background of the shot doesn't really matter so much, or do you want something like in the prequels where, you know, most of the shots are people just kind of sitting around somewhere, but there's like a window nearby with all the stuff going on outside? Like, it's like pick your poison, right? Like, which do you think is more interesting?
Yeah,
I like the locations we visit on the prequels. I mean, it's cool to see. I mean, you know, Star Wars is always like they always visited like these kind of dingy places that where, you know, like people like to use the term lived in. Whereas with the prequels, we see like the height of civilization in Star Wars, like all these nice and well developed places. So I would love to see, and I guess Cloud City is kind of like that, but not really. But I don't know. I would like to see like a modern take on that. You know, like if Disney did a film and they went to Coruscant, you know, like what would that look like? I would love to see them try something like that.
I am
Because the
interested.
prequels like had a lot of potential, but a lot of like the reason why I think they're bad is because a lot of like the planets and stuff were poorly made with CG.
Yeah, there's some pretty like that Gungan battle between the droids
Oh my
and
God.
that looks so bad, dude. That's why I love Battlefront 2 so much, because like Battlefront, I'd say looks better than the prequels.
Absolutely, it's not even a question.
They need to someone needs to redo the prequels, but with Battlefront.
All right, Jay. So we were talking about episode 2, and then I think we can all agree episode 2 is basic trash. I mean, there's really not even the lightsaber duel saves that movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
at least
is so bad and so pointless. Like, it's just like who cared? Who cares about that fight? You know, like.
No, it's also. I mean, yeah, you're making me frustrated thinking about it.
Yeah.
But episode 1, I was gonna, I think I've told you, and I think if you just check my Instagram, I'm actually a decent fan of episode 1, surprisingly. And
I mean, so like, for me, it's all the same. Like I really group most of my problems with the prequels are not reduced to one film. Like, people will say, "Oh, I hate like the cringy love dialogue in episode 2." Well, you get a ton of that, and probably even worse in episode 3. And actually, you don't really get too much of that in episode 1, because Anakin's like a kid. It's more awkward.
If you were to take away acting from the prequels, let's pretend the acting was just good. All the acting was good. Would you still hate the prequels, or would you be a lot more like,
yeah,
they're okay?
I would. I mean, they would obviously be better, but like, I would still. The plot of them just isn't good. Like, here's like I love Jedi, right? Like, Jedi are the coolest thing that probably come out of Star Wars, other than like maybe spaceships. And the prequels, I feel, are just a continual story of why the Jedi are stupid and ignore big red flags in their face, which some people would argue and say, "Oh, it was meant to be written that way. It's showing you how they were wrong about what they were doing." But I don't think that was George's intention. I think like it just kind of ended up happening that way, like Yoda is obviously a very powerful Jedi, but like the prequels just made him so dumb. Like he just, all he does is just sit around and think about what's going on, but they never actually do anything. Like, it seems like everyone in the world knew what was happening with like Palpatine, and like these weird things happening about this big army coming out of nowhere, except them. Like, I don't know, they just make Jedi seem so incompetent. There's more problems for there's more problems with the prequels and the acting, which is a pretty big like part of the film, right? Like, acting can literally make or break a film. Like,
for a lot of people, I think that's one reason I personally enjoyed the prequels, because acting typically doesn't have that big of an effect on me. Like, if I don't know, I can get past it easy. Like, I thought I would hate Jake Lloyd in the Phantom Menace, and I maybe it was expectations. My expectations were so low that they so low. All right, anyways, but they were like really low, and then it wasn't as bad as I expected. But
do you feel that way with any movie, or is it just Star Wars?
No, it's almost any movie. There's a few movies where I'm just like Disney Channel. Like, if I watch that, I just tear my eyes out. But other than that, I can get past bad acting.
Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the fact that it's Star Wars can definitely help with. Like,
but yeah, it's just I already love this world, so
exactly, yeah, and that's the thing about Star Wars, right? Like, it's the world itself is so cool and immersive that, like, you don't need the most amazingly well-written story to make a great Star Wars film. As long as you have decent characters that you like doing something cool, like, that's sufficient for someone to sit down and enjoy a Star Wars film. Like, I feel like people generally agree like Rogue One is a good film. Even people that don't like Disney's, Disney's take on Star Wars, they can typically agree that Rogue One's a good film.
Mhm.
And I mean, like the characters in Rogue One aren't great, like they aren't super developed, but because they're doing all this cool Star Warsy type stuff that takes it from maybe a decent film to like a really good film. Like if Rogue One wasn't a Star Wars film, if it was just like a generic sci-fi film, no one would really pay attention to it. But because it's Star Wars, like that takes it up a few levels.
Not to get too sidetracked, but yeah, the reason I love Rogue One is for the longest time I'd been dying for I was like really interested in the original trilogy battles. Like we never really got any big giant battles that were like ground. So when Rogue One came out, I was like so hyped.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That was really the coolest thing about Rogue One, just seeing all this original trilogy stuff with done in like modern times.
Mm-hmm. It looked really good too.
Rogue One's probably I think Rogue One's the best looking Star Wars film out there. I don't know what it is like the spin-offs just look different than like episodes 7 and 8, and they look better in my opinion. They look more realistic.
I think the beach setting has to do with that. I mean, not everything in that movie seems more appealing to the eye almost, and I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I can't really. Maybe it's the original trilogy, which automatically brings some sort of nostalgic factor into it of us going, "Oh man, but they look so much better now."
Right? Yeah, we're just so used to seeing it, probably.
Yeah.
Hold on, Hayden Thompson.
Part of the reason why.
Oh, go ahead, Stormy.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I feel like that's part of the reason why Solo isn't, that killer, I guess, because of it takes advantage of the original trilogy, but it doesn't show stuff, from the original trilogy as much as Rogue One did.
Yeah, my biggest problem with this is my biggest problem, but one of my big problems with Solo is the film was literally too dark. Like I remember sitting in the theater, like, wow, it is hard for me to tell what's happening on screen right now. Like especially that beginning sequence where they're on Corellia. Like it's so dark. Like why is it so dark?
Solo is, as much as I don't hate to admit it. It's like it was a good movie, but it's so sad because I probably am only gonna ever rewatch that movie maybe one or two more times in the rest of my lifespan. I've seen it once and it was good. It's just not rewatchable for me.
That is my exact opinion on it. It's like I tell people like Solo is like a really good episode of Rebels.
Yeah, it's like a TV show. It's like the Clone Wars movie. Nobody remembers that thing.
Right, yeah, you just need to watch it once to see like what happened.
Yeah.
How did Han become who he is, and that's it. Like that. Like
and I think
yeah, it was really fun to watch sometime.
It's like an Indiana Jones movie almost. Like Indiana Jones is rewatchable.
Nope.
What?
They're rewatchable, okay?
Yeah, I was about to say Indiana Jones is way more rewatchable, but
I'm kidding.
But I feel like Solo it's also that people are like, really, Han Solo? We kind of got 3 movies on him. He's cool. and again, people are like, well, we want Obi-Wan. And I think Obi-Wan movie would have been a lot more interesting personally, especially just because, I mean, Obi-Wan's the best thing ever to come out of Star Wars, in my opinion.
Obi-Wan's a cool dude.
Even in the prequels, except for Episode 2, he's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's okay in the prequels. Like in the Clone Wars, he's wonderful.
Oh, he's amazing.
I don't love prequel Obi-Wan. Episode 2, I really don't like. But Sinister Creed wins comment of the day. He says, "Solo is an accurate name for how many times I will watch it."
That's amazing.
But
back to the prequels.
But yeah, it's fine. We got a general Star Wars talk. It's all good.
So for the Phantom Menace, I was gonna say the reason. Oh, I agree with Jedi Bob. I would love to see an Obi-Wan film. Yes, I would too forever. Anyways, yeah. So with the Phantom Menace, I really like the backstory to Anakin as much as I kind of hated it at the same time.
That he was a
slave, and he got torn apart from his mom, which in my opinion is a really kind of just depressing scene when he has to leave his mom, and she's
that's tragic. Like,
and I'm just like, oh man, that really sucks. And then I don't know if you know about this, but there's one scene where the shadow of him looks like Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's like the cover of the if you buy like the Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray, I have it. Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I have to ask you another question in a minute because that's one of the worst things Lucas ever did. But I think the Phantom Menace. Again, I've always said this. Everything on Tatooine is I'm a fan of, except not Jar Jar.
Oh boy,
doing all the silly shenanigans Jar Jar does.
Jar Jar on Tatooine is just like the worst. Like,
he was good he was all good on the ship. I mean, he said hello, boyos, and then my mind was blown because I thought you made that up. I was like, what?
And then when he gets to Tatooine, he's just like, oh, like so there's not enough people paying attention to me. I need to do more stuff.
One other thing that's really dumb about Phantom Menace, and it's just funny, is have you ever watched the video Darth Vader with child Anakin's voice?
That thing is hilarious.
Where he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to rewatch it. But when he's talking in that weird language, I'm like, why do they have to have Anakin talk like that?
Chesko Sebulba. I mean, it's fine. He's speaking Huttese. Like, it makes sense. Like,
I guess so, but it just sounds dumb. He's like, all right, shut up, Slamo, or something. Yeah. I'm just like, all right.
I mean, that's just what you get when you have a little kid actor. Like,
yeah, I kind of hate when people are like, Jake Wood was terrible. I'm like, he was a kid actor, bro. Like, the only good kid actors I've seen are from Jurassic Park and Stranger Things. Okay, so.
Yeah, good kid actors are few and far between.
Yeah, so I don't really blame him. Kevin Macaulay Culkin was a good kid actor. We all love him.
Yeah, he didn't have to deliver. The problem with Star Wars is they have to deliver like serious dialogue, right? Like it wasn't like a lighthearted. If Star Wars Episode 1 was like a lighthearted kid film, like maybe Jake Lloyd would be more positively received, but it wasn't. Like, he was a slave and he had to talk about that and like other Star Wars. I don't know. It was bad from the go. I think the biggest problem is why did you start there? Why did we start with little kid Anakin? Like,
I think
that film happened that was necessary to like know about Darth Vader. Like, we could have. All they had to do was just tell us, "Oh, I was a slave and the Jedi found me." Boom.
They could tell you that, but like this is the reason I like Phantom. I do like Phantom Menace, and it's just Anakin being a slave, and his life's just like, oh wow, that really. It's like Harry Potter, right? Except Harry Potter doesn't spend a whole entire movie explaining him living with. Have you ever seen Harry Potter, Jay?
No.
Oh crap! That analogy wouldn't work. All right, never mind. Well, for the viewers on the chat, I guess, it's like if Harry Potter had a whole movie of him with the Dursleys and seeing how much his life sucked, and then the next movie he went to magic school.
Well, but like, here's the thing that like we already basically saw that story. Like, we saw Luke kind of go from, I mean, he wasn't a slave, but his life didn't really have meaning when he was just on Tatooine.
So you think
we didn't need to retread that? Like, we could have just gotten to the point with Vader.
I think one thing they could have done to really help out. Again, I love the idea of him being. No, wait, that didn't sound right. I like the product of what they did of him being a slave and how tragic it is, and him having to leave his mom, and then automatically from the get-go, you can see why he would hate the Jedi. But I feel like they could have pulled something like Luke, where you can still have the Jedi Order or whatever, right?
Okay.
Let's pretend I do a little rewrite. Let's pretend instead they're still stuck on Tatooine, maybe for a different reason or whatever. And they meet a little bit of an older version of Anakin.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
literally, he should have just been Luke's age. Like, just get to the point.
And not Hayden Christensen and just been the voice. Okay, wait, I don't know if you know what the voice actor for Anakin from the Clone Wars looks like, but he looks a lot like Anakin, actually. So
is it Matt Lanter?
Yeah, he kind of does. He could, and I'm like, dang, they should cast him. Anyways,
I mean, you can't say he looks like Anakin because Anakin looks like Hayden Christensen.
Okay, I meant from Clone.
That's Hayden Christensen.
Okay, wait, hold up. I think he sounds like Anakin, and then he could just play a better Anakin. Like, I would much rather think of him as Anakin than Hayden Christensen.
I would say I like his interpretation of Anakin, but I feel like that's just direction. Like, given a different set of circumstances, different dialogue, a different director, like Hayden Christensen probably would have been fine as Anakin, but like that was not the case.
Sinister Creed said something really good. He said, like I said, Phantom Menace should have had Anakin as Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan as Qui-Gon.
Exactly. Like,
and I can agree with that.
Qui-Gon might be the most pointless main character we've ever
We
had.
don't need to see Obi-Wan be a Padawan. Make him a master, or just make him a Jedi Knight or whatever. It's been, just from the get-go. I mean, I understand he was younger, Ian McGregor and stuff, but, you could still do some stuff with that.
You guys think it's funny, like, Obi-Wan was such an old Padawan?
Yeah. That must have been embarrassing. Just, just going around.
Did they just find him when he was really old? Or why wasn't he, like, a knight by then?
It's like Batman and Robin. The girls only like Batman. They just laugh at Robin. It's like they're like, oh, Qui-Gon, and then Obi-Wan's like, hey, I'm single too, and they're like, dude, you're still a Padawan. You have a braid, man. But you know what? I can see why you don't like the Phantom Menace. Again, personally, I do. I just like the tragedy of.
I mean, I'll give it to you. Like seeing, this kid taken away from his mom as a slave, like that's very heartbreaking. The problem is like that doesn't make up for the fact that we miss out on so much story that can be told. Like think about like in the original trilogy, like their relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin is built up to be this important thing, right? Like, oh, we were friends, and we never get to see that.
It would have been so. Imagine how much more powerful. Okay, let's pretend the Attack of Clones was good, but in the Phantom Menace, they did what I think Sinister Creed said, and had Obi-Wan save Anakin instead of Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Then Anakin would have been like, Obi-Wan's basically my best friend. He's my absolute. He got me out of a terrible situation. He saved my life practically. And
what I don't understand is like. Why did George Lucas decide it was a good idea to basically have Obi-Wan guilt tripped into like training Anakin?
He wasn't guilt tripped into it.
Yes, he was. Like he's like Qui-Gon's like, oh, I'm dying. Please train this boy. Like before that point, he wanted nothing to do with Anakin.
He did not nothing to do with it.
Are you kidding? Okay,
wait.
Whenever he first meets Anakin, whenever he first learns that Anakin's going to be joining them, what does he say?
I don't know. I know you're going to say the pointless life form thing. That is not what he said to Anakin. He said that about when he met new people. He didn't know it was Anakin.
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like he was like, this is so pointless. Like, why are we picking up this kid?
Yeah, okay, I'll admit, Obi-Wan was not the nicest man in the Phantom Menace, but I don't know.
Point being, even at the end of the film, and when he's like telling them he wants to train Anakin, he isn't like, oh, I feel this will be really good for the Jedi Order. It's, oh, this is Qui-Gon's wish. I want to fulfill his wish.
Yeah, no, I can see it. No. He's a much better person in different variations. He's not a great person in the Phantom Menace.
I don't think it's like a particularly difficult thing to write. Just like,
but I mean, then again,
Obi-Wan, they form a friendship, and it's like, oh, like I want to train this guy. Boom.
That would have been better. It's kind of really, now that I think about it. Why did they have Qui-Gon? I can never answer that. Like, listen, I'm not saying it's like a kind of a cool character, but just have Obi-Wan.
The only cool thing about Qui-Gon is he's a Jedi. Other than that, like,
and he's
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I guess.
But and I think another kind of bad thing about everything on Coruscant sucks. We can all agree on that. I don't think anyone will ever disagree with that.
That part of the movie just drags.
God, like why? Just you could make it so short. Just like, we're not going to train you. Well, screw you guys. And then Qui-Gon just goes and trains them. But
hey, AJ.
What's up?
I'm gonna have to leave because my phone's almost dead.
Okay, that's cool, man.
So yeah, I would like to come back on, but if other people want to come on, then that's fine. But thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so this kind of annoying, but I thought it was gonna have a little bit longer. I had to go pick up my little brother from practice, so I guess maybe I'll be back for a third stream, and I actually won't have to leave. Yeah.
Just stream on forever.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'll actually head out too. I gotta go pick up my little brother from basketball practice.
You just let me take over the stream. Stream on your channel for a while.
Oh God. I come back with like 2,000 subscribers.
No, man, I'd bring my the
I would come back with 10,000 more subscribers, but they're all like prequel lovers.
Yeah, and then half your fan base goes dislikes your crate video because I'm like, Last Jedi sucks, and everyone's like, yeah, let's go dislike it. Yeah.
You're preaching that anti-sequel propaganda.
Hey, I told you, Force Awakens. You changed my mind about the Force Awakens.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Force Awakens is a good.
It is. It's not my favorite movie, but I definitely don't hate it.
Yeah, and yeah, Corinne, you got. Yeah, I'm gonna do another stream whenever I get back. I feel like this one barely lasted. We were just getting to the surface of. I don't know where the conversation was going, but it was going somewhere, and I liked it. So when I come back, Stormy's gonna head out, and I'll probably bring on whoever else wants to come on, and we can.
Revenge of the Sith is a good movie.
Yeah, what's up?
I just have to charge my phone for a little bit. I would like to join back on when you start the stream, but you don't have to invite me back on.
No, I'll bring you back on. So just charge your phone, and then whenever you come back.
Yeah, I apologize for being really quiet this stream. I just don't like interrupting, you know?
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. We get very passionate when we talk about the prequels, so anytime you want to chime in, you're more than welcome to.
All right, yeah, I'm sorry about that. But thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. It's a pleasure. I will see you guys very soon.
All right, see ya.
Have fun. Do whatever you can do.
Have fun thinking about why Episode 3 is a good movie.
Yeah, I feel